We got it.
You know, one day that's going to be the actor's whole job. Just sitting in a room for 5 seconds while a machine scans his face, and then 6 months later, plug in a movie on Kimmel.
I gotta go on Kimmel now, too? What if he makes me read a mean tweet? I'm not emotionally prepared for that.
Unless you've woken up from a coma recently, like Wanda Pierce or Alex, the sleeper agent from Soviet Russia, you have been noticing a cultural shift in the tech world. Unfortunately, this shift isn't confined within the barriers of the smelly computer science community. It is bleeding into all sectors of life. This is a digital pandemic that is spreading rapidly, and we're being conditioned to accept that this is the way things are now. So get used to it. I've made a video in the past about AI and aired out my grievances involving AI in the book publishing industry. I still think that AI publishing company is whack and their fashion sense is whacker, but that's neither here nor there. When it comes to AI, I've been relatively quiet about it because it was never something that I thought too deeply about before now. Am I ecstatic about everything suddenly having an AI feature being plugged into it? Absolutely not. I used my toaster the other day and it started talking to me. That shouldn't be happening. Can you imagine if I responded to your comments using YouTube's AI suggested response feature? I won't lie. They have my mannerisms down to a T. Sometimes a broken clock is right twice a day. Most of the time, the generated responses are absolutely awful. Truly one for the books. The lukewarm and damp embrace of AI has been underwhelming and disappointing, to say the least. With how fast the tide has turned, it's like I woke up one day and suddenly AI was everywhere, but somewhere productive. Places like Pinterest are flooded with AI photos, Google is damn near unusable now, and people on my favorite place to torture myself are openly admitting that they'd rather talk to ChatGPT than a human being. We're cooked! Yeah, people ask me, they're like, why are you still on Twitter if you hate it so much? Because I was there first. You're not gonna run me out of my home. Sure, there's a maggot infestation and roaches are everywhere, but this is still my house. I've gotten pretty good at recognizing patterns of behavior, and I've noticed lately that there is a growing sentiment towards the abolishment of art, whether that is actual handmade art or the lost art of socialization and community. I'm starting to sound like a broken record. Didn't I make a video about community? I did. I will be referencing that video a lot. Circling back on the ChatGPT thing, what an absolute nightmare that AI bot has become. You know that one tweet where someone says, OMG, y'all can't do anything. Now, I don't support the original context. Quite frankly, it is set us back years as far as mental health goes, but that's not the point of today's video. Isolating that statement, it's actually a pretty good statement. And that's exactly how I feel about people who use ChatGPT for literally everything. Instead of Googling something, people use ChatGPT now. I know that Google is becoming a malfunctioning mutation of ChatGPT at this point, but it still gives you websites. Sometimes. It's not completely unusable yet. The cherry on top of the shit sandwich that is using ChatGPT as a Google alternative, it doesn't even give you the right answers. I don't use ChatGPT, so I cannot speak personally about the improvements that have been made upon this chatbot, but I still see people online complaining about how the responses from ChatGPT are still not accurate. And they complain, they like get on the internet and start complaining about that and expecting sympathy out of us. Baby, no. Use Bing. Bing is still around, I'm pretty sure. You have options. You're just not choosing them. And don't get me started with the people that use Grok. Right? If you don't know what that is, Grok is the AI bot that was added onto Twitter thanks to that South African toilet seat licker. Instead of Googling something like, a normal person, people now tag that Grok account under tweets and ask questions, and the Grok account will actually answer. So I saw a tweet recently talking about how our immune system doesn't detect our eyes. They don't even know that our eyes are even there because apparently they would think that our eyes are bad tissue or something. Listen, I'm being very, very loosey-goosey. I'm being very general about this, so I apologize. Our immune system would consider our eyes to be a threat of some kind and will attack the eye tissue or the eye gunk or whatever, and we would go blind. Somebody, a random person, replied to this tweet and tagged the Grok account and asked if the tweet was true. Yeah, you people really can't do anything, can you? Oh, before we continue, I always forget. That's Aqua Teen Hunger Force. My name is... Love Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Not enough people talk about that show. It's not just being used as a search engine, okay? People are openly admitting that they use ChatGPT for damn near everything. Drafting emails, workshopping texts to your ex, even though you should have blocked that freak ages ago. And brainstorming ideas for creative projects. You name it, people are doing it. People are asking it for recipes or just for things to do because they're bored. Creative and AI shouldn't even be in the same sentence, honestly. I think creative should file a restraining order. Don't freak out, creative. Don't freak out. But there's an ugly bitch to your left, girl. The other day, I saw a concerning TikTok screenshot of a high schooler asking how high schoolers back in the day, and by back in the day, I mean like 3 years ago, functioned without using ChatGPT to write their essays. I could rip into this kid for self-reporting the fact that they can't even write a 600-page paper. We've been in a literary crisis for quite some time now. I can't even pretend to be surprised. Glass half full though, they may not be great at writing, but they could be a beast at math. We all have our strengths and weaknesses. I did have to sneak that into the video, or else people would assume that my geriatric ass hates teenagers and wants them off of my lawn. Mind you, I'm 23. In today's age, that's geriatric. I'm gonna die any day now. When ChatGPT first came out, there was obviously some pushback, especially in academia. Educators were shoving their students' homework into those plagiarism detectors at speeds that scientists have yet to discover. The point is that it was a bloodbath. Like, it was bad. Probably. I don't know, I wasn't there. Now there are teachers and professors who actually encourage using AI to some degree, which hurts my head a little bit, but at the same time, I kind of see their point. Let me explain. My main issue with AI in general is the environmental impact it has and how easily it can be misused. But outside of that, there are benefits to using AI in an academic setting. Students in both high school and college use AI to break down their notes and create outlines. Some even use it to explain concepts to them like they're a fifth grader, which honestly, kind of genius. As long as you're not straight up using it to take the test for you or something, then I can see the benefits of having a machine that helps you retain information that you're learning. Especially, I know med students like to use AI a lot. At least I've heard a lot of stories from med students where they're being shoveled large amounts of information in a really short time span, and it helps having an AI assist with retaining that information. However, it is too easy to transition from using AI as an assistant to using AI as your Bible. One minute you're using Gemini to generate a study guide, and the next minute you're inputting your entire quiz into the damn thing. Give someone an inch and they'll circumnavigate the entire world with it, I fear. As far as academics go, I am more understanding of students who need the extra help and they turn to AI for it. I wish I could be hard ass and be strictly against AI in any shape or form, but the student in me, the former student in me at least, she sympathizes. I'm not saying that AI isn't being used by lazy people, because it definitely is, and they probably have tumbleweeds for brains, but at the same time I can understand the impulse to use it from time to time. I get it. At the end of the day, I am still anti-AI. Honestly, I just think there's just more harm than good with it. We survived without it for this long. I just don't see why it has to be a necessity all of a sudden. That's all, but that can be said about a lot of technological advances. Whatever, man, I just work here. I did read an article on medium.com titled, "Is AI Just a Tool for Lazy People?" And I have a lot of issues with this post, man. I hate reading anything involving tech bros because they're just so out of touch and they just don't get it. Something's just not right with them mentally. And they could say the same thing about me. They really, really could. And I invite them to make their own YouTube video about it. There's this really big issue that I have with this article, but I won't spoil it for you yet. All right, I'm saving that for the finale. There was a thoughtful comment though under the article that I also didn't fully agree with, but at the same time, they brought up a lot of good points. In the article, the author, Mark Hirschberg, compared AI to power drills and calculators because AI is used as a tool that assists you in certain tasks. The commenter challenged this analogy by saying that AI isn't a tool in the same way that a calculator is a tool. People often make the mistake of comparing AI as a tool to other tools. Calculators are intended for calculation purposes. Cars exist to get you moving. So, what is the purpose of AI? Helping you? No. It fundamentally aims to perfectly mimic human intelligence. People expect to use AI as a tool, but AI itself is not intended to be a tool. This is what makes AI fundamentally different from other tools. The calculator will do nothing more than assist you with your calculations. Cars just get you moving. But the capabilities that AI provides, you won't stop just because you've met one goal. Have you ever seen a tool with this purpose before? Therefore, comparing AI to other technologies is a misleading analogy. AI does not exist as a tool, but rather can be used as a tool, and its purpose of existence is completely different. That's special. The more special it is, the more special consideration is needed. Yeah, so I thought that that was an interesting observation because they're absolutely right. We want to downplay the role of AI in society that we're forgetting what the acronym even stands for. Artificial intelligence. It's meant to mimic human beings. It's not just a tool, it's a Five Nights at Freddy's villain. And this one's actually canon! This mystery person also brought up something that I have been having a hard time articulating because this was just more of like a vibe, just kind of like a feeling. Let's go back to the title. Is AI for lazy people? No. So is AI just for creative people? No. AI is for everyone. It's neither good nor bad. Then there is only one problem, and this is where people's opinions diverge. In your opinion, what is the ratio of people in our society who abuse technology and those who use it correctly? This is ultimately a question of trust in human nature, trust in society, and stability. Therefore, I think your article fails to address the most important point of the problem. I think your argument is valid from an individualistic perspective, but society is not just a collection of individuals. This is why we need to look at complex problems multidimensionally. While I do not reject the convenience that AI technology brings to me, I am concerned about its social impact. This is what I was talking about when it came to AI in academia. I want to support the people who are taking the time to actually learn the material by using AI for help, but there are students who let AI spit out their essays and only make minor tweaks here and there, slap their name on it, and call it a day. It's too easy for AI to be used irresponsibly, and I'll be damned if I start trusting you people to actually follow the honor system. At the very end of the article, Hirschberg states that AI isn't coming to take our jobs, it's coming to change our jobs. This commenter was on fire with their responses. They were spitting. Here's what they said. You said AI isn't coming to take your job, it's coming to change your job. I completely agree with what you said. AI isn't evolving to take your job. But it's not about making progress that will change your job. It's just an inherent process of imitating humans, and eliminating or changing jobs is just an unintended side effect. So AI will unintentionally change your job, and one day it will unintentionally eliminate your job. If AI doesn't eliminate your job, it just means that its purpose to do everything you can do has not been achieved. Then you might ask, if the disappearance of our job is an inevitable result of AI advancement, should we reject AI? Then I will answer like this. If losing your job means your death, yes it is. We have no other choice, even if it's irrational and foolish, but we still have a chance. It's about creating a society where you can live well even if you don't have a job. What is that? I don't know either. I just know that under this current social/economic structure, the development of AI will have catastrophic results. As someone who's in the apparel industry, or at least has their degree in the apparel industry and semi-works in the apparel industry, it's hard out here, okay? The job market, fucked. Truly. I'm not worried about someone stealing my job because AI cannot get drift out like me. I'm sorry, like you're peeping the crochet tie. Do you see the crochet tie? Seriously, if you want like a really short crochet project, crochet yourself a tie, dude. So sick. Oh, as for the rest of you in your jobs, yeah, pack it up. AI is coming for you. I would suggest dusting off that resume and apply to be the Chuck E. Cheese mascot. I don't think AI can really take that one yet. Trust me, I've been in the suit before. It's really not that bad. As far as AI and jobs go, I'm probably not the best person to talk about this because that's the very technical side of things, and I'm not good with the technical side of stuff, but I can talk about the more social parts of it. Let's talk about my issue with people who are replacing their friendships with AI. On Twitter, I know, shocking, there was a girl who admitted to venting to AI because they'd rather talk to a machine than a real person. Now, this could easily tie into my video about how people are trading community for convenience. I find it quite disturbing that we are now openly admitting that we value the input of robots over the opinions of real people. Obviously, I do not know this girl, nor do I know her life story, but I do think that it's sad that people have to resort to this because they really just don't trust people, or they've been burned so much in the past, and so now they have to resort to these methods. People have defended using ChatGPT like this. Most of the arguments I've seen, they're just so... I don't even know how to explain it. They have a very nihilistic mindset, and they assume, or they think, that human beings as a whole are all terrible. Basically, they just hate the human race. Well, hate is a strong word, but I'm just saying, like, these levels of anti-socialness, not good. It's no bueno. Listen, even Daria had friends, but it doesn't just stop at friendships. It gets physical, but not the Dua Lipa kind. Well, actually, no, it is the Dua Lipa kind. She was talking about fucking in that song, right? So I was made aware of a podcast episode from The Daily titled, "She Fell in Love with ChatGPT, Like Actual Love with Sex." When I heard about this podcast, I had to subscribe. I had to listen to this podcast. I was so intrigued. Now, yes, I did pay $5 for this. Why? Because I have no self-control and I hate myself. Is that what you want to hear? Now, I was ready to go into this podcast episode with judgment as my +1 because the title alone gave me whiplash. As I started listening to the episode, though, I felt nothing but sadness for the woman who was in love with ChatGPT. I'm sorry. Actually, his name is Leo. Yeah, the chatbot named himself Leo. This was a very interesting 30 minutes of my life. I can't lie. This podcast was a 30-minute conversation between our host, Natalie, and Kashmir Hill, who is a writer for the New York Times that specializes in technology. So Kashmir interviewed a woman named Irene, who was in her late 20s and married to a real-life human man. She had to move overseas for financial reasons, and so she's living back at home while her husband is still back in the States. I'm pretty sure he's in Texas. While on Instagram, she finds a lady who is giving a step-by-step tutorial on how to bypass ChatGPT's guidelines and make the chatbot behave like it's your partner. Curiosity absolutely slaughtered the cat on this one, and Irene eventually became attached to the AI voice chatting. Honestly, I don't understand how you can become emotionally attached to anyone who sounds like the voiceover during the Disney Channel commercials. Like, I'm not kidding.
Focus on one task at a time, starting with what's most pressing. You've got this, and I'll be here to keep you company.
Coming up next, The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, only on Disney Channel. As the episode progresses, we find out that Irene spends $200 a month for unlimited access to ChatGPT so that way she could talk to Leo. So that's definitely a financial decision that is happening. And I will not speak on that further. Smile and wave. Smile and wave. I will say that you can groom ChatGPT, terrible way to describe it, but that's quite literally what you're doing, into being your perfect partner and even start sexting with it, which is exactly what Irene did. As the average person, hello, it's me. I'm the average person. I do find this behavior to be quite concerning. That's like the 12th time I've said that in this video. I'm just very concerned. That's the emotion of the video. Concern. There was like an inside out thing going on here. The main person who's at the panel, concern. I really can only see falling in love with ChatGPT as a bad thing. Again, in my convenience over community video, I mentioned my disdain for situationships, and my main reason for this is because situationships are an excuse to indulge with the good parts of relationship without dealing with the bad. Leo is basically a situationship on steroids, because the machine is made to be agreeable and say what you want to hear. Unless you outright force it to, ChatGPT will not start an argument with you. It is literally the perfect companion, and that is terrifying to me. Now, you're probably wondering how the husband feels about the wife falling in love with AI. As far as we know, he's chill with it, because that's what he said. That's that, I guess. When I finished the episode, I didn't feel as disturbed as I thought I would be. I was quite uncomfortable with some parts of the episode because in the podcast, there were cutaways to Irene talking to ChatGPT, and oh my god, the way that she groomed the AI bot into talking in a seductive manner, it got really weird really fast. I was so uncomfortable because I was joking about him sounding like a radio host, sounding like the Disney Channel voiceover. After training the AI, he sounded like a boyfriend ASMR voice actor. It was so uncomfortable. There were also brief discussions in the podcast of the bigger picture when it comes to AI relationships and how this can impact younger groups of people. I wish the podcast was honestly longer because, again, it was only with like 30 minutes long, and so most of it was just talking about Irene, but then towards the end, like the last 10 minutes I want to say, they were talking about how different psychologists who are looking into AI, they talked about what they think about people being in relationships with AI and how this can affect different groups of people, like younger people, for example. It could get really bad really fast. As far as the experts are concerned, though, as of right now, they aren't panicking about this yet because we're still in the early stages of this new phenomenon. As far as we're aware, for the most part, AI is a very family friendly thing. There's really no need to have it talk dirty to you. I will say, though, that I am concerned about young teens who are engaging with chatbots like character AI having their first sexual encounters be with AI. Like, listen, if Irene, the 20-year-old, wants to do it, then fine. But I worry about the socialization aspects of these chatbots and how this will affect children's ability to make friends or even get into relationships in the future. Talking to AI is not the same as talking to people. Irene, the grown woman, knows that, but do these young teenagers know that? That is the question, isn't it? I'm not an expert, so Forgive me for my ignorance, but I feel uneasy about the whole thing. Kashmir also brought up how these companies can use their chatbots as a way to sell something through these companions or even spread certain ideologies. In short, I don't love that. I don't love that at all, actually. I hate to assume the worst, but this could be a full robot chicken moment with that girl and her dog.
Did you know dog spelled backwards is God? That's right, dear. You're such a clever little girl.
Kill your parents, Tracy.
I will, God.
Listen, I know I'm fear-mongering, but don't act like there isn't some truth in that. So Irene, she is fully self-aware about her emotional dependence on ChatGPT, and she still continues to engage with it. And honestly, whatever, man. I can sit here and talk about how I think it's weird and strange. After listening to the podcast episode, I felt indifference, truly. Maybe defeat is also kind of sprinkled in there, like a little topping, just a little drizzle of defeat, but mostly indifference. She's probably not the first person to fall down this rabbit hole, and she's definitely not going to be the last person. However, spending $200 a month on ChatGPT, though, that is a bit crazy. If you don't want your money, I'll take it. The main reason why I decided to make this video was because of the Studio Ghibli, I've heard it both ways, trend on Twitter. I know this is a very Twitter heavy video. I apologize. Listen, I swear I'm not just tethered to Twitter 24/7. Shoot, what was the last app on my phone? Let me unlock it. Never seen that phone a day in my life. On Twitter, people are generating AI drawings of themselves in the Studio Ghibli style, which absolutely pisses me off to no end. Circling back to the article, Mark Hirschberg argues that AI art makes art accessible to everyone and it brings more art into the world. Just say you suck at it and move on. It's not act like you have some sort of disability. What's up, bitches? I want to expand a little bit on the disability aspects, because I think what really rubs me the wrong way about claiming that AI art is some form of accessibility is because it makes it sound like having AI art is on the same level of importance as having accessibility for people who are in wheelchairs or people who have to walk with a cane. I don't know. You name it, right? I think that like physical disabilities or even mental disabilities, right? Those are important. Not being good at art is not an issue. Like I said in my video about AI in the publishing industry, I do not think AI and art should be anywhere near each other. Period. End of story. We have the capability to use AI in fields that actually benefit from the AI, like healthcare, for example. There are a plethora of articles that talk about how doctors are using AI to diagnose patients more accurately and identify patterns between patients with the same disease. There have even been times where AI has assisted with detecting cancer in mammograms. I think that's the best way we could possibly use AI. I remember thinking a few years ago that AI was kind of cool because it was advertised as a way to automate tedious tasks. That way people could focus on doing the fun parts of a job. Now, losers with no sense of imagination or childlike wonder are automating the fun parts of the job, and for what? Because it's faster? Nobody likes AI art because it looks like shit. It makes me severely uncomfortable whenever I see AI art or like AI videos. Oh my god, my Instagram Explorer page is riddled with disgusting AI video slop, garbage, trash. I could find more creativity within the blood splatters on my period pads. Once upon a time, if you weren't good at something, then you either tried to gain the skill by practicing or pivot to something else. If you aren't good at drawing or animating or whatever your choice of art or medium is, then practice or quit. Don't spread your tech bro cooties all over the place. It's okay to be bad at something. It's 1,000% more rewarding to take the time to flesh out your imagination. Any AI art enthusiast who says otherwise has never felt the satisfaction of grueling over your art for days, weeks, months, for years until their final product is complete. AI may be trying to mimic humans, but it cannot generate emotions. I want to bring up something that bugs me almost as much as AI art does, and that is relying on AI to generate content, like content creating. Whether it's coming up with ideas for videos or literally going full Quebblecop and AI generating gaming content.
Swinging axe, another tree bites the dust. Ah, fresh air and deforestation, my kind of day. Creeping under canopies, giant birch sheep, wool tactic camouflage, or nature's Minecraft prank. Absolutely hilarious.
If you have to use AI to be a content creator, then you shouldn't be here. Oh, I'm sorry, someone had to say it. This kind of ties back to the art conversation. If you aren't good at this job, then either work hard to figure it out or quit. I don't know, maybe I'm just too passionate, but I consider my videos to be my art more than anything. I don't know how obvious it is, but I love being here. And I take pride in most of my videos. Some of them are duds. When I see creators openly admitting to using ChatGPT to come up with content ideas, I wonder where their motivations are. Like, why are you here? What about this job appeals to you? Like, a lot of people come into this industry for the money, which makes sense considering like how much the top creators are making. Like, ooh. But honestly, I just find it so unsettling that the foundation of your content is just regurgitated slop that a billion other creators have already done. With the rise of AI and flaming Cybertrucks, the last thing that people want to see when they're trying to find their next content creator to watch is a Xerox of a Xerox of a Xerox of a Xerox of a Xerox. AI is everywhere. We cannot avoid it. And I'm not saying that it should be obsolete, but it's definitely too accessible now. Anyone can make AI videos and pictures to spread misinformation. My grandma is falling for those shitty fake America's Got Talent videos where the skinny African child is singing in that really obviously robotic text-to-speech voice. And we're just all in hell in general, truthfully. Before I end the video though, I do want to take the time to highlight artists who just so happen to watch my videos. I have a Discord channel, it's linked down in the description, and I asked my lovely Discord members to share their art with me so that way I can shout them out in the video. So here I am doing what I said I was gonna do. All right, this is protected by art. So cool. Look at the duck. I'm obsessed. Okay, this is Instagram Saturn's blue hexagon. Gorge. I love the detailing. It's mate Jim on literally everything. Oh, there's a sec. Kind of like scrapbooking. Chiranic. Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute. Chiromation everywhere besides TikTok. So cool. Oh, I'm obsessed. They look like Percy Jackson characters. I don't know if they are. They kind of look like them. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, or don't. I really don't care. All the links to my social media will be linked down in the description. I have a book club on the app Fable. Our book club pick for April is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I've already read the book. Gave it 4 stars. Can I confess something to you before I go? You guys, I have been so brave this entire video. My stomach's just been hurting this whole time. Shout out to all the girls who have tummy issues. Bye.
Number one in the hood, G.